If you've spent any time in the pits at a track day, you've probably noticed that many bikes are sitting on stands with brightly coloured covers wrapped around the tyres. Those are tyre warmers. But are they really necessary? Which type should you buy if you're going to use them? How do they actually work? And if you're using hypersport tyres instead of slicks, should you even be using them? In this video, we're going to answer those questions. We'll look at the different types of tyre warmers available, how they're fitted correctly to your motorcycle, how they heat the tyres, and some simple temperature settings that work well for both hypersport tyres and full racing slicks. By the end of this video, you'll understand when tyre warmers make sense, when they don't, and how to use them correctly so you can head out onto the track with confidence. So let's get started. In this video about tyre warmers, I'm going to answer a couple of specific questions about them. I want to quickly discuss the different types that are available. Then we'll get into why we use them, when we use them, and how do we go about using these. And I'll use the Ninja 400 behind me as a bit of a demo. Now, the different types of tyre warmers. First of all, what is a tyre warmer, I guess, is the right question. A tyre warmer is nothing more than let's describe it as an electric blanket for your tyre. Now, there are a couple of different types, right, that I've got available here, and there are some fancy ones available beyond that. So the basic one is what's referred to as a fixed temperature tyre warmer. So all it simply is a blanket that can roll up and it just wraps around the tyre, and then you just go and plug it in. So you can't do anything with the temperature here. It just simply has a green light and a red light. Tells you when it's heating, tells you when it's heated. And that would be the very basic type. And it's pretty suitable to most situations, I guess, for track day riding. The other type that I've got here, and this is the one that I make use of more than anything, and I think it's the most popular one, certainly from a racing perspective, and that is a variable temperature tyre warmer. So the tyre warmer itself is exactly the same, right? It's just an electric blanket that opens up and rolls around the wheel. It's got a specific plug that comes with this particular type. This is the La Corsa version. And then what comes with that is a power pack. And that power pack has basically got a temperature control mechanism built into it. So what's interesting is you can plug in the front and rear tyre warmer to this device, and you can separate the temperature settings for each of those. So you can run, a hotter temperature on the back if you want, or the front. And it's entirely adjustable. The other side of it is you can use these to run lower temperature settings according to whatever setting you specifically nominate for, wet tyres and, those types of scenarios. Now, there are a couple other different types. Instead of having a full variable temperature setting tyre warmer, you can also get what's called a multi-stage tyre warmer. And that is where it simply comes with the options of low, medium and high. And I haven't seen those around. I've never used one. I prefer the variable temperature one. There is one more that I've never seen. I'm familiar with them, and that is the multi-zone tyre warmer. And that's one where you can actually change the temperature setting for different zones of the tyre. You can say, I want a lower temperature for the center, and I want a higher temperature for the edge, and something like that. But they're probably way more expensive, be 2 or 3 times the price of these compared to these, and they would be used by professional race teams. Why do we want to run tyre warmers on a racetrack? Well, I can think of 2 reasons that certainly inspire me to make use of them. The first and most obvious of these is you get to warm up the tyre and get it into its operating temperature range in the pit before you ride on the track. And by doing that, that's going to increase your confidence that you got traction on that first corner when you pull out. Number 2, it's going to save time warming up the tyre by doing laps and accelerating and building up speed. It's going to reduce the risk that you've got a loss of traction in those first few corners of that first lap. And overall, it's going to reduce the amount of time that you have warming tyres up, and you can spend more time actually riding the bike the way it was meant to be. The second reason, this is one that a lot of people don't consider. Let's just say, look at the situation where you don't have tyre warmers. You pull out on the track with cold tyres. So the temperature is going to be ambient temperature. Let's just say it's 30 degrees Celsius. You're going to go out and you're going to build up the speed. You're going to build up the temperature by doing laps, and the temperature is going to rise, and it might get up to 60, 70, 80 degrees. So you've got this massive shift in temperature from its coldest point to its warmest point. Then when you pull back in the pits, It might be half an hour, 3/4 of an hour before you go back on track again for your next session. In that time, that tyre is going to warm down, going to cool right down. So it drops right down, then you're going to go out and you're going to repeat it. So what you're getting is these massive heat cycles, and that is what damages the chemical structure of the tyre itself, or the rubber. So what we're doing is, by utilising tyre warmers, is we're getting it up to its operating temperature range. So it's going to be up here somewhere. We go out, we ride on track, and it may cool down a little bit, might get a bit hotter, but it'll stay up here in this high temperature. Then we pull back into the pits, whack the tyre warmers on, and we don't let it cool right down. So it's holding the temperature range in a much thinner band, and that's reducing the effect of those heat cycles. And like I said, that's a reason that a lot of people don't even think about. So very quickly, before I get into how you use the tyre warmers, there are 5 situations or circumstances when I think you should be making use of these. Number 1, when you're running slicks. It's highly recommended that you utilise tyre warmers. Number 2, when you are racing, because you don't get time to go and warm up a tyre by doing laps before you line up at the start line. And then it's going to be flat out from the moment those lights go out. Number 3, when it's recommended by the factory who make the tyres. And from memory, most of the manufacturers of slicks will recommend that you run tyre warmers. They'll even give you the temperature settings. Number 4, when you are riding under cooler conditions, so the ambient temperature is much lower, tyre warmers are going to help you in those conditions. And the last one I can think of, that is when you're running much shorter sessions. So you don't get a lot of time to go out there and muck around. So we run 7 to 10 minute sessions up here in North Queensland where I live, and they're so short you don't get time to go and, cut a lot of laps and build heat up into the tyres. Down south, you might be doing 18 to 20 minute sessions, and that's a little bit different. So that would be the conditions under which I think you should be making use of the tyre warmer. Okay, so how do you actually use these tyre warmers? Well, let me just run through it very quickly. So, as I said, this little blanket, right? Generally, they're rolled up nice and tight. They're not folded. They're rolled up so you don't create damage to the heating elements that are in the material here. Now, it's going to have a start end, and generally the power is at the finishing end. So it'll have some Velcro wrapped around it. Now, the way I was taught was this, and it makes a lot of sense. Find the valve of the tyre, and then when you attach it, begin right where or close to the valve is. So I just utilise kind of that rib, that spoke there. That's going to hold that in place. Put the Velcro around it, but it's going to be near where the valve is. And the reason for that is the thing that we're concerned about with this tyre is not the cold pressure temperature, but the hot pressure temperature. And you'll see all the recommendations that come from the factory are associated with that particular setting. So if you're not running tyre warmers, you've got to be concerned about the cold pressure before you take off. What we do is set these when they're hot. So now I know where the valve is. It's going to be where the tyre warmer begins and ends. So all we simply do is rotate the wheel. And as we rotate the wheel, we just pull the slack out of the tyre warmer, make it nice and symmetrical on both sides, right, rotating around. Now, it's important that the tyre is clean because, rocks and stone and crap in there, it can potentially damage the tyre warmer itself, which is what we're trying to avoid. So keep it nice and clean. Okay, now the ending, right, where the power comes out, the ending just simply overlaps the beginning. Now we've got a complete wrap of a thermal blanket around the tyre. And as I said, I know where the valve is. The valve is right here at the end. I know where the plug is. And there you go. One other thing I will mention, and that is tyre blankets. Not an essential item. A tyre blanket is simply a blanket that just goes over the top of this. And the reason people would do that is you've got to recognise that you've got a electric blanket here that's warming up the rubber, right? The setting of that electric blanket is basically the temperature of the tyre warmer, not the temperature of the tyre, but it's the temperature of the tyre warmer, and it's warming the rubber, but what it's not doing is warming this alloy rim. So that's exposed to the ambient temperature or conditions that you're exposed to, whether it's raining or dry or whatever. Now, what that means is if you pull up for any period of time with the tyre warmer off, that much colder piece of metal is going to pull or draw heat away from the tyre. Now, Under racing conditions, that can be a bit of a problem, which Mike Jones from ASBK has already explained to me. When he was racing at the Bend, they got a red flag, lined up at the pits again, just put a tyre warmer back on, but the tyre cooled down quite a bit, and then he had problems in the second part of the race. So a way of avoiding that is to recognise that if we can keep heat in that entire area, that's going to warm up the metal in this part in here. So when we pull up at the pit exit, we line up at the start, we don't have the situation where this cold metal is pulling the heat out. You're more likely to have a bit of temperature in the tyre. So you get a tyre blanket. And a tyre blanket is simply a blanket that just goes over the top like this. Right? You can see it just holds, helps spread heat within this area underneath the blanket itself. So this is a thermal blanket. Now, you can spend, anything from $60. I think this costs us $60. It's as cheap as anything from AliExpress, up to $500 or $600 on real fancy ones. But I just went the cheap pathway. I don't have any particular data about the temperature advantage of this, but I think common sense prevails in this case. And you'd go, look, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to, recognise that there's going to be, if there's any heat in here, it's going to transfer to the rim. So all we're trying to do is hold that heat within the blanket. So there you go. Yeah. Okay, so the question is, how long do you warm them up for? Well, you've got to simply follow manufacturers' recommendations. Now, these are Pirelli Supercorsa SCs, and they're our dot tyre, but they are, because they were kind of designed, to be dot approved, but also utilised in racing conditions, the factory settings for this include hot pressure settings as well as the guidelines around utilisation of tyre warmers. And the most common setting that I've seen, certainly for Pirelli, Pirelli Superbike slicks, Racetech slicks, which are the Metzler brand or equivalent, Metzler Racetechs, the dot approved ones, is 50 minutes at 80 degrees Celsius or 176 degrees Fahrenheit. So we put the tyre warmer on about an hour before we start riding the bike. And then if you have the variable temperature, set it to 80 degrees Celsius, and then you run it at that. Then you would test your tyre pressure settings when they are hot an hour later or 50 minutes later or something. So yeah, so just to repeat that, 50 minutes, 80 degrees Celsius is the most common setting recommendation that I've seen, or tyre warming, I should say, recommendation I've seen from the factories of Pirelli and Metzler. Now, before we go, I want to cover one last thing, and I got this tip from Glenn Allerton from the Australian Superbike series. Talking to him in Sydney, he talked about a couple of things associated with the tyres themselves, and the most important thing he spoke about was the thermal shock associated with quick cool down, or rapid cool down, I should say. Now, what that means is, over the course of the day, you're utilising tyre warmers. You're kind of holding the tyre in an operating temperature that's much finer, right? So it's not going to cool down very much. You're going to pull off track, whack these back on, and keep it in that temperature range. At the end of the day, right, you pull into the pits from the last session. What do? Well, generally people just park the bike and they just let them cool down. So now you've got a situation where there's going to be rapid cooling of the tyre, and that thermal shock effect can affect the chemical composition of the rubber itself. And it's the heat cycles that affect the longevity of performance of these tyres. So the recommendation is, when you pull in from the last session, is put the tyre warmers back on and let the tyre cool down slowly in the warmer. And even the way I approach it now is, when I pull back in, I plug the tyre warmer back in, put them on, plug them in so that the tyre is back being heated again. Then I just simply turn the tyre warmer off, and then over the course of the packing period, I just let those cool down in the tyre warmers. And like I said, the effect of that is you're reducing the impact of thermal shock because you're reducing the speed at which it cools down. And overall, that's going to give you a positive effect, or I should say, minimizing the effect of heat cycles on the chemical composition of the rubber. And you may as well get the optimum life out of that tyre. And that's a tip given to me by Glenn Allerton, who should actually know. So what's the takeaway from all of this? If you're riding on slick tyres, tyre warmers aren't really optional. Slicks are designed to perform at much higher operating temperatures, and using warmers helps get them into their intended working range before you head out on the track. That means better grip from the first lap, more consistent performance and less unnecessary heat cycling of the tyre. If you're running hypersport tyres, the decision is really yours. You can certainly ride without tyre warmers, and many track riders actually do that, but there are genuine advantages to using them. They reduce the number of laps it takes to reach operating temperature, they give you more consistent grip as you leave pit lane, and they can help reduce wear by minimising repeated heat cycles. Ultimately, it comes down to how you ride or how you use your bike, how often you ride on the track, and how much consistency you want from your tyres. So hopefully this video has helped you understand not just what tyre warmers do, but when they make sense and how to use them correctly. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe, because we've got plenty more practical track day content coming your way. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.